Hello, fellow Hoodas. This is Dom Lewis for All Saints Considered blog. I am doing my segment on Coach from the Couch, where I take a fan perspective of each and every Saints game. This one is on the NFC Championship game, which the Saints unfortunately lost to the Rams 26-23, and we all know why. There were a lot of points in this game, a lot of missed calls. Saints could have done things differently. Rams could have done things differently. It's not how you start the game, it's how you finish. The Saints were in a position to pretty much put the game away, had certain things going their way, but a blatant missed call by the referees pretty much determined the outcome of that game. So we'll just get into the review. First quarter, Saints got the ball first, just like I had hoped, and they virtually drove down the field. Dan Arnold misses a potential touchdown, which forces us to kick a field goal. We get an interception on the Rams' first possession. Unfortunately, we couldn't turn that into 6 points, so we got another three. Now, people are saying, well, if the Saints had gotten touchdowns, first two possessions, it might have been a different story. But who's to say the Rams wouldn't have came back? I mean, they came back down 21 in the first game in the regular season. So, no lead is safe, especially in a game of this magnitude, being you win, you go to the Super Bowl. So, we were playing good defensively, getting the Rams off their game. The crowd was incredible. They were forcing them, false starts. They couldn't hear a thing on the field. The crowd was doing their part. Eventually, the Saints went down. They got a touchdown, take a 13-0 lead towards the end of the first quarter. But this is where things got tricky. The Rams, I expected this. They're the team with Johnny Hecker, their punter. You can always count on him to run a fake every now and then. That's essentially what they did to keep a drive alive. And eventually they went down and got a field goal. And then it was back and forth from there, a couple punts either way. And this is what killed me the most. Before in the first game, the Rams went down the field, got in field goal range, got a field goal, pretty much changed the momentum a little bit. Eventually ended up tying the game late in the fourth quarter. This time around, the Rams were able to go down the field and get a touchdown with a long pass to Brandon Cooks. Eventually Todd Gurley runs it in, 3-point game at halftime. After halftime, Rams get the ball first. Saints defense, important thing to do is to, get a 3-and-out or just get a stop. They did their part. And what do the Saints do? They go down the field, kill some clock, and eventually get a touchdown. 10-point lead. But like I said, no lead is safe. Next possession, the Rams, 10-plus play drive, 75 yards. They end up getting in the end zone. It's a 3-point game. And then from that point on, it was just back and forth, punt, punt here, punt there. And then the Rams, they're driving down the field. They eventually get to the 1 yard line. Fourth and goal. I'd say go for it. At that point, they get a touchdown. At the worst, the Saints are deep in their territory. But they decided to set up for a field goal, tried to get us to go off sides, and they false started. Didn't really matter. They made the field goal, tie game. So this is where things get interesting towards the later part of the game. Saints pretty much have the ball, driving down the field. They're right around midfield. Drew Brees hits Ted Ginn, inside the 15-yard line, right at the 2-minute warning. 1:58 left in the game. Now, this is where people, say, oh, if you run the ball 3 times, run out the clock. That's not how the situation should have went down. First off, the Rams had 2 timeouts left in the game. Crucial, right around the 2-minute warning. So, hypothetically, Saints pass the ball on first down. They Drew misses Michael Thomas on an easy slant. Had he caught the ball, he probably would, got a touchdown. But overall, to say even if the Saints ran the ball on first down, you're talking about a play that lasts literally like between 3 and 5 seconds. Rams call timeout. Saints run the ball again, 3 to 5 seconds. Rams call timeout. The crucial part is the third down, conversion. If the Saints convert on third down, they're practically able to run down the clock to practically nothing, kick a field goal, we're going to the Super Bowl. However, if they don't convert on third down, then you're talking about a play that probably lasts maybe 5 seconds minimum. And, we kick a field goal, allow the Rams to have plenty of time just to get in the field goal range. I mean, Greg Zuerlein, he's got a leg on him. He can hit from anywhere practically. So, but the main factor is on the third down play, Tommy Lee Lewis runs a wheel route and just gets completely blasted by Nikel Roby Coleman. Doesn't even turn around, doesn't even look for the ball, just flat out smashes him. Two referees, one on each side, are just looking at the play and decide to swallow the whistle and not even throw a flag. How are you even capable as a referee to swallow your whistle and not throw a flag at that moment when it was a blatant call? Just blatant. Like I said it before, Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles could have seen that from space. That's how obvious it was. Everybody in that stadium went rampant. I went rampant sitting from my couch. I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. If that play is called, the Saints pretty much just walk away. We're going to the Super Bowl. Flat out. It was just that crucial. But instead, we have settled for a field goal. Rams get the ball back. One timeout, they're able to drive down the field, kick a field goal. We go in overtime. And what happens in overtime? Drew Brees gets pressure, just practically throws the ball up. It's intercepted by the Rams. They get a few yards here. Greg Zuerlein hits a 57-yarder to win the game. I mean, there's nothing more we can say, nothing more we can do about it. It's heartbreaking. It's tough to swallow. For any fan. I mean, if that had been any other team in that situation, I would feel the exact same way I do now. I mean, like it goes inside with the way that games are called today. With even in the AFC Championship game, for example, you had a roughing the passer call on Tom Brady, where Chris Jones literally just swiped his shoulder. Nowhere touches his head. Nowhere even gets really that much of a lick on him. He literally swiped in front of him and got called for roughing the passer. How can you even make that call? Referees as a whole in the NFL today are just terrible. This game in itself had several missed calls that could have definitely changed the outcome. But that main call inside 2 minutes, how do you not call that? I mean, as a human being, how can you live with yourself knowing that you just cost not only a team but a city the opportunity to get back to a Super Bowl after 9+ years? I just don't understand it. It's just like there's no indecency to the game anymore, you know. And ever since then, the fans have been, doing whatever they can to try to make things right. Going as far as getting lawyers. One local guy, car dealership owner, he bought signs in Atlanta. I mean, that just goes to show you how proud we are as a fan base, just to do whatever it takes to make things right. I mean, we may not get what we want this year, but hopefully it makes things different in the future. I mean, I think altogether, any call that's questionable should be reviewed, hands down. I don't care if it's, a challenge or an official review from upstairs, it has to be done. Because you look at any other sport, the NBA, they have reviews within 2 minutes on any questionable call. NHL, they review anything, if it's a no goal or no goal offsides, anything that could change the game. MLB, especially during the playoffs, they have extra of umpires in the outfield and the infield, and they review any questionable call to make sure they get it right. The NFL, to me, at this point, it's no longer about the enjoyment of the game, the entertainment of the sport. It's strictly a business, and the fact that they haven't said anything officially at this point, it makes you wonder what's really going on. So I mean, it's unfortunate. We're gonna have to just look forward to the off season. Drew's already said he's coming back. Ben Watson said he was going to retire, but you never know. I mean, it is what it is. So we have a lot of things to work on as a whole, as a city, as a team, to just get ready for next season. And you be sure, we're gonna come back stronger and we're gonna come back harder to make sure we get back to this point. All right, I'm Dom Lewis for All Saints Blog. Y'all have a good one.